Hi folks! Welcome to Follow the Leader, a podcast focused on telling character-driven stories through the use of GM-less tabletop games where we can all take the lead. You can find us on Twitter at FTLcast and at FTLcast.com. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/FTLcast. Today we're playing a playset we created for the Protocol series from Postworld Games. For those of you who are new to this game, here are the basics. Protocol is a series of story role-playing games that thrust characters into dramatic situations. Each game uses the same set of rules with vastly different parameters, start points, characters, and finales. Players take on the roles of directors outside the action and characters inside the action, using the ebb and flow of 4 different scene framing styles, vignettes, interrogations, interludes, and ensembles, to tell meaningful stories about characters in crisis. We're not actually using one of the playsets that comes with the Protocol series. We cooked up our very own playset because we are returning today to the City of Gulls. I'm August, and you can find me on Twitter at HarpyDora, and you can hear me and a couple of other familiar faces or voices on Dumb Kids Playing Hero and Animorphs Forged in the Dark game, along with Jade and Mac, and some of our friends from the room where it happened. And my pronouns are they, them. Playing with me today we have Jade.
Hello, I am the entity formerly known as Jade. I'll come up with some other names later, I'm sure. You can find me on Twitter at JadeOxfordRose. I use they, them pronouns. And you can also, if you're an Animorphs fan, hear me and Danielle from the room where it happened talking about it in our Animorphs book club, The Escafil Files, which is Escafil Files on Twitter. I'm playing with me today, because I don't know why I put the emphasis like that, but I did, and I'm standing by it. Mac's here.
Hi, I'm here too. I'm Mac. You can find me on the internet at Citadel of Swords, wherever you find good shitpost content. You can find the podcasting guild that we are a part of. It's us in the room where it happened. We cover a lot of the other podcasts under our umbrella. Standing Stones. You can find us at Stones_standing on Twitter because Standing Stones was taken. And playing with us today, we also have Mab.
Hi, I'm Mab. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Patreon at Little Lady Mab. My pronouns are she, her, and playing with us, we've got Zach. Hi, welcome aboard.
I've been here the whole time.
He's never left since the last recording.
Yeah, you come to my house and you turn on these microphones and I just am living my life. My name is Zachary Frederickson. You can find me on Twitter at OffSkinandGod. You can find the music I do for the show and otherwise at iambugbear.bandcamp.com. I use he, him pronouns.
Our lines, which are things we absolutely do not want to see, are homophobia and transphobia, racism, sexism, anti-Semitism, violence against children and animals, sexual assault, domestic violence or intimate partner violence, unwanted pregnancy, and plagues and pandemics. Our veils, which are things we're fine with addressing but will just fade to black on, are steamy situations, graphic descriptions of bodily harm, and terminal illness. Now that we've got all that, let's get started. Protocol games are designed to be played almost instantly. As soon as players sit down and start reading, the game can start. The first steps that we do for playing is, number 1, we select a role for a character. Since we're returning to the City of Gulls, instead of roles, we're taking our tags from the previous City of Gulls game. We already have names for our characters, but with Protocol, if you listen to our Lady Winter game, we also have character motivations, and typically we do character relationships in Protocol games, but since these characters have kind of interacted a little bit already, what we're doing instead is we're going to kind of like hint at potential character histories, and see what happens and, kind of tweak them to reflect what has gone before. And then you typically determine elements about the game through world-building questions. But again, since we're returning to a world that we know and love so well, we're going to kind of bypass that part and just give you a little bit of a refresher on what's happened. How about we introduce our characters and our tags, and then we'll move on to drawing our motivations and our histories. So going down the line, Jade, would you like to begin?
Sure. Back in the City of Gulls, and I am going to be playing from eternity to now. Every person knows not who they are, but who they might be, more commonly known as Every. Uses they, them pronouns, and their tags are Friendly Neighborhood Cryptid, Still Waters Run Deep, and Hidden Teeth.
I am going to be playing a character known as Sable. The entity currently known as Sable, the Unfavored. They use they, them pronouns. Their tags are the Paladin, to be lawful or good, Wanderer, Young Face, Old Eyes, Do Not Cite the Deep Magic to Me, Witch, Righteous, and Loved by the Gods.
I'm playing everyone's mom friend, the Peony, and her tags are Mouthpiece of the Gods, Soft Comforts, Age is a Concept, and Enabler in Chief. I don't remember why they're an enabler. Who knows?
Something
to do.
Romance shit?
Yeah, it was probably just the way that she'll just sit there and go coo-foo-foo-foo-foo-foo in the background of everything.
Today I am playing Steady as It Goes. If it comes, it will come. His tags are Beloved of the Sun, God's Favorite Pugilist, Bad Dad Getting Better, and Unkillable Brooding Machine.
Those tags are incredible.
It's so good to hear you say Bad Dad Getting Better with a completely straight face.
It's very good.
It's really
If it's a reference I don't know what it's from, it's just true.
Rounding out this ragtag group, I will be playing Marius, Thank the Gods for Small Favors. They use they, them pronouns. Their tags are Likes Books More Than People, Know It All, Fussy Fussy Fussy, and my favorite that got added recently, Icarus.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so the way that protocol games are kind of powered is you draw cards to determine things like the scene type you're going to be playing, the setting, kind of the mood. With character creation, with the motivation and the history, you draw a card and the suit combined with the number kind of give you a pointer for what that's going to be, and it's up to you to interpret it. So kind of cool, almost oracle-like way to do it. So the first thing that I want to do is let's go through and let's all draw our motivation, and then we'll draw... Do we have to draw a history for every character?
I believe so.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, let's do motivation first, and then we'll draw our histories.
I'll deal everybody a card.
All right. Thank you, Jade. Every is up first.
All right, so my card is the Nine of Spades. It has disappeared, but it was the Nine of Spades. So my motivation is selfishly destroying. Oh my.
Ooh.
How fun. I'm drumming my fingertips together. Like, ooh, it's good. So yeah, selfishly destroying.
Next up is Mac.
Yeah, I'm digesting.
Oh, that good, eh?
I got the Ace of Hearts. Noble Knowledge.
Aww.
Also, I drew a spindle wheel card as a vibe check, and I got a raised glass, a canteen passed along the trench, a drink shared with an old friend. So...
Oh.
Or a new bond forged in remembrance of those who have been lost, but a drink shared with an old friend is at top, so... I wonder.
I drew the Ace of Clubs, which is impulsively knowledge, loved grammar.
Yeah,
Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, it's really funny.
Or it could be knowledge impulsively, I guess.
I'm gonna knowledge so impulsively right now.
Gonna know all the things.
Ah! Spontaneous knowledge is what it's gonna be called. I just know things.
I got the Seven of Clubs, which means that I am impulsively reaping.
Oh.
Reaping impulsively. What could that mean? I suppose we'll find out.
Play to find out what happens.
Me sowing. Ah ha ha, this is great. Me reaping. Ah, fuck.
Yeah, I suppose I'm reaping something. But who knows what?
And again, rounding out everything, I drew the Queen of Spades, which is selfishly fleeing, and boy howdy do I have some ideas for that.
Boy fucking howdy.
Alright, so the next thing we do is our history with each other. So each of us is going to have 4 cards. Do we want to just deal 4 cards to everybody and have everybody kind of like pick who gets what?
That could work, because we did say about having that flexibility here. Alternatively, if everybody sussed out their relationship to every first. So, if everybody picks their card to determine their relationship with every, that's done.
I think that's
then we'll go.
good.
We'll do it that way round.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm going to deal 4 to everybody so we can pick out.
Oh, okay. Actually, in order to figure out who has a relationship with whom, each player selects one character to have a pre-existing relationship with their own character before the game even starts.
Well, we all have previous relationships with each other except for maybe Study and everybody, so...
For sure. It does say that you define the relationships, each pair defines the relationships by drawing a card. So we don't have to have one card for each other. Each relationship is a shared card.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it looks like we can have up at least one, but if you want to have more, you can have more.
Okay, if I recall the cards from the hands then, because I had forgotten that part, I was just going, that's so many cards. But yeah, each relationship has a single card. So
Okay.
I'll recall the cards from people's hands.
So then we have to keep track of which relationships have and have not been done. Which is fine.
To the dock.
Mm-hmm.
To the dock!
Yeah, that's the doc for you.
I do like the notion of every relationship having a card.
This is going to be confusing every time you say every.
Yes.
Welcome
It
to the
keeps-
City of Gulls.
It keeps happening.
Warned you about that name, bro.
I didn't pick it.
Jade, if you want to draw for every as relationships and we can do it that way?
Tell you what. We could do it round robin style. This is going to end up taking way too long. I'll draw for my relationship with Sable. Sable can do their relationship with the peony. And we'll figure it out. Because I don't want to do all of mine.
Okay.
I'm picking a card. Just because otherwise I just feel like I'm talking too long and I feel really bad at talking right now. Right.
Talking hard.
6-0 Diamond.
This is the complete opposite of what we've got.
Why don't you draw a card and then say, I think it will work for this person better?
Yeah.
That might be an idea. All right.
I think that's a better idea because I just looked at it and went, no.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
6 of
I
diamonds.
think that's
We are
wrong, actually.
Professional associates.
We also said
Professional,
about
subtle nods.
discarding a card if it didn't feel right. But
Yeah. Just
Okay.
subtly.
I like drawing a card and saying, "Oh, this worked with this relationship."
okay. That feels like it could be Every's relationship with Marius. To be honest,
Yeah, I like that a lot.
So for our listeners, professional and subtle nods. So
Yeah.
That's a good relationship for Every to have with Marius.
And it definitely fits what's gone before.
I've drawn one of my cards. Mac, have a go. Draw a card. See who the relationship is for.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I think that's also a relationship with Marius.
What is it?
What
Four
is
of
it?
spades.
That.
I'm looking at the rolling
Oh
up.
God, animosity from broken promises.
Ooh.
Yep.
Spicy.
That's
Spicy.
a relationship with Marius. 100%.
That's good. Yeah. Especially once Sable finds out what Marius has been doing.
Yep.
Oh, Marius, what have you been doing? Bye.
Yeah, 100%.
Fantastic. All right, so let's throw that bad boy down, and the peony.
I got the Ace of Spades. That
Ace of spades.
ancient.
Oh.
That is
Ooh.
animosity and an ancient grudge.
Please give me this. You know what I'm thinking, because we haven't seen this happen yet. Please. Let it be so.
This whole time she's pretending to like you, but really she absolutely hates you? Is that what you're saying, Jade?
No, that was not what I was getting at.
I have a thought. I think I know what Jade is getting at.
Okay, please
I'm
tell
just
me.
saying, this guy just rolls
Oh,
into
yeah.
town,
Yeah.
beloved
Yup.
of the sun, just being like, who are you exactly? Bitch, she doesn't even go here.
Same wavelength, Jade.
Oh.
Same wavelength.
God, that's amazing.
So I believe the idea there was that Jade would love for you to place that relationship
Yes.
between the peony and
Oh, are we
Steady.
putting... Yes, I was going to go write that down in the doc because we're too far away on the Roll20.
Mhm. Sick. It's my
Yes,
turn.
it is.
isn't it? The 9 of hearts. Friends and rivals over a careful distance.
That could be Sable.
That could
That
be
could be
Sable,
Sable.
but a big part of it has been like, hey, let's not have a distance. Stop it.
But it is history.
That is history, yeah. And Sable, I think, has kept.
Sable has
I
kept
think we've both
very careful distance.
and Steady had done that before. Okay, so yeah, that's good for me.
All right. I got the Joker.
Oh, so this means it's a three-way relationship.
Oh, shoot.
Joker means you add another character.
So the only two characters left are Steady and Peony, so this is going to be really
Well, no,
interesting.
it could be a relationship that stands aside from the main ones. Like it could be something that unites three characters.
But it could also be between Marius, Sable, Marius, Steady, and the Peony.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be.
I got clubs for both of them, so that's familial. Blood or chosen.
What's the value?
One of them is the Jack and one of them is the 8. So Jack is unexpected connections and 8 is oaths forged.
Unexpected connection along familial, blood, or chosen. Given the ties these characters have had to like being chosen by the gods or trying to fight gods or being mouthpieces of the gods.
Yeah. I mean, oaths forged doesn't mean they're oaths kept, because Marius did promise to be more careful with the peony. Yeah, I do feel like the 8 of spades fits with the peony. Or 8 of clubs, sorry. They're both black and they both have a vague shape. This could be fun to figure out, especially the unexpected connection. But I do like having that being a 3-way relationship or 3-way history between Steady and the peony.
What connection does Steady have to the mages of Anukar?
Ooh.
Are we finally gonna answer this fucking question?
Who are the mages of Anukar?
That's where Marius came from.
Yeah, all we know is that Marius is the last of them and that they fought in the war between magic and technology. Oh, and that a certain somebody took them out.
We know nothing else.
They've literally never appeared on screen as a collective. We just have their name.
Yeah,
So-
because they've been wiped out by She Who Whispers.
So fertile ground for
Certainly.
whatever you like. Oh, it's me again. Okay, deal to self. All right. I drew the 5 of clubs. So familial, blood or chosen, and warm regards. So this could be a couple of people, like depending on how I wanted to lean in. I will point out none of these especially seem strong enough for Every and Sable's connection, to be fair. So if you're down, I might say that this could be the relationship between Steady and Every. I just don't know it yet. If you like the idea.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, it was a history too, so it's like it's you said it's familial, warm regards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Let's run down once more how they are related.
It's complicated.
Every is the
is
child.
connected to Solara. They do not know this.
Okay, and how is Every? Because I thought Every was connected to Aphiel.
Yes.
Yeah, and Aphiel was the child of Solara.
So you are my step grandchild.
No.
No, that's
There's
weird.
a connection there. There's a connection. Well, actually, it's weird and complicated.
It's weird.
The exact connection between Every and Aphiel has never been revealed on screen.
I was going to say, if you want to say it to Zach to make things easier, and then I'll cut it.
Yeah.
Okay, so knowing that, and maybe this also has some like previous relationship that Steady had with Aphiel.
Yes.
That's sort of like, I like this kid. I like this kid.
And maybe wouldn't know why.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that
That's
a lot.
very good.
Just a sort of impression of
Yeah,
connection.
like I feel this and I'm not sure why, but it's a good feeling, so I'm going to lean in.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, perfect.
Wicked.
Sounds perfect.
I'm sorry that is so complicated. The fucking Every Aphiel situation has been fucking brewing for fucking 2 and a bit years at this point.
we're finally getting around to it, and it's season 5. The last time we discussed it was season 2. You know when it's like that?
But that's me. Over to you, Mac.
7 of Hearts. Friends, Rival, Slut, and Life Debt. Can I hold this until I get the next card?
I mean,
Yes.
There's nothing saying you can't.
Yeah, because I think it could work in either direction, so I want to see if I get something that's stronger in one way or another before I play this.
Fair.
So I'm going to hold that.
I got the King of Hearts, friends/rivals, and a mentor/protege. So, sorry, are the cards, it's like the two-way relationship are the cards, and it's not just this is how I view the relationship versus how you view the relationship like some games are?
Yeah, this is...
No, it's a shared.
Okay.
Yeah,
card.
this is like a shared history between two characters.
Okay. Well, the only people I have left then are Every and Sable.
I mean, that might, given the conversations that Every and the Peony have had in the past, it could work for them because she has helped them,
Yeah.
if you like that.
I think it makes more sense, yeah, that way than it does with Sable.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I definitely would not call us a mentor-protege
No.
relationship.
No.
Nah.
I can just draw another card and then we can
Yeah,
see
just-
from there.
It's just us now. Fight,
Yeah.
fight.
It's just us. We'll see what I get. Don't like that.
We also said that if cards didn't fit, you could throw it away.
Yeah, because I have to check really quick. Yeah, I'm gonna throw that because that's not. I got a for y'all. I got a 6 of spades. That does not work for either of them.
No.
Goodbye.
You
Okay.
can see how
okay.
much I do with Spindle Wheel. Just like, nope, nope, nope.
This is also. I got 4 of diamonds. That's professional broken promises. That's Marius. That's literally just Marius.
Alternatively, I got a pitch for you on professional and broken promises, as you already have, Marius. You were a paladin to a god once.
Yeah, I mean, we could play into that a little bit, I guess.
If you wanted to. Given what we've talked about being what the overall mystery or vibe is for this story that we want to tell today.
Here's an interesting one. 4 of clubs. Familial broken promises.
Ooh.
Oh, now that is good.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm torn. Someone give me a pitch.
I think it would be very interesting to see familial broken promises play out with Every.
Yeah.
As just like echoes of maybe ways that Sable feels like they failed Aphiel and Aphiel's favor and love. Because family is also like, spouses and stuff, so...
Yeah, I like that. And having a life debt between Sable and the Peony is just... What does that mean?
Love it.
Very
I love it so
good.
much.
I'm here for this.
Very good. This is exactly what I was thinking about why I wanted to do the character histories and find the complications in them. Because, like, I would not have said this about the relationship between Sable and Every before.
All right. So, one of the things that we have to do is also world building. We've done a lot of that with just the City of Gulls in general. There's, a fair amount of history there. And I think a lot of it can be summed up with it's a green post-apocalypse. We've moved on. I think we decided 200 years or so.
About 200 years.
Since magic and technology clashed, and in that clash caused the apocalypse.
The Divine also got involved. Just a little bit.
Yeah. Just a smidge.
Just a little bit.
This world is still kind of picking up the pieces. The City of Gulls itself is one of the major settlements that humans have, people, because it's not just humans here, have managed to reclaim and start to build anew and, really not go back to normal necessarily, but start to kind of, develop back into a more robust society rather than just subsistence living. There are all sorts of shenanigans going on with gods, with magic, with people. We had a fair number of mysteries that we were exploring in a previous game, and we decided to kind of narrow down the focus of this game into one mystery that we're kind of looking into as players.
The ones that you put for the main mysteries, did we also put this in the doc? Are people being so old related to things going on with the gods? That was one of them?
Yes, I think that was the main mystery, because 90% of the people, technically 80% of the characters involved in this game are a bit older than they necessarily should be if there weren't shenanigans going on.
You never ask a lady her age.
Sable said the exact same thing, I think, in the Sunderland game.
Handshake. Handshake emoji.
Handshake emoji.
Yep. So that's going to be kind of the world building focus of where we're going.
What's up with the gods?
What is up with the gods? This is shit that I want to know.
The next thing that we have to consider is our economy that drives a lot of stuff, our drama points. So each player in the game starts with at least one drama point. Since we want a little more authorial control, we're going to start with 2 drama points each. And drama points allow players to break the rules a little bit, and can only be gained or lost doing certain things in play. So,
This is where we start?
I believe this is where we start with our opening scenes.
The opening scene is always a vignette. It sets the tone. Not sure who directs the opening scene, though.
I was gonna say, is it a vignette where everybody is it just the camera flies around and sees what everyone's doing?
It can be. I was just going to suggest that the sun be coming up, but I mean, that could just be happening.
The sun is coming up.
We should have our first shot scene be of the City of Gulls. Depict the City of Gulls as it is. Show the people who are already there.
That's a good idea.
And then
Yeah.
show the people who are coming there. Somebody who is not me should describe the City of Gulls, because I am coming here for the first time.
All right, I got something, and if people want to add, or maybe I'll do a little bit. I know normally you have one narrator, but maybe everybody can add something. So, the sun is coming up over the horizon. The sunlight is lighting up the ocean. The cry of gulls overhead, and as the surface of the sea gets brighter, it hits the black volcanic sand of the beach. Camera pans up the sort of cliff face to take in the expanse of the City of Gulls with its massive towers with giant nests atop, and the sounds of people starting to go about their day as the breeze moves through the town.
I think there's also probably devotees of Ruskul who are among the rib cage that, makes up what's effectively the center of community going about and snuffing lanterns that keep the place lighted at all times.
I think there's also, like, when you start to approach the beach and the temperature starts to fluctuate slightly, like, it's, like, warm and it gets cooler, as you get closer to coastline.
Mm.
It's like one of those things. It's like you hit a point eventually where the temperature just starts to...
The marine layer is just burning off.
And it feels comfortable, even though it's, like, early morning still.
I'm going to throw out a visual here that I'm just thinking, because the way we've talked about the different areas of the city and how some parts have clearly been reclaimed and repurposed and built up again, and there are parts that are still in ruins. I'm thinking a lot about how Edinburgh looks, but like a coastal version of Edinburgh, with like lots of like hills and stuff like that and stone buildings, like little narrow little passageways between and stuff like that. Because we never talked about, like, the architecture or anything like that.
No.
I mean, it doesn't have to be, like, Edinburgh in terms of what the buildings are made of. Just, like, the way those always seem to be those different layers of, like, sidewalks and stuff in Edinburgh. Like, you go, like, up a set of stairs and then there's another sidewalk. And it's very higgledy-piggledy and stuff. But are we imagining something more Mediterranean-y in terms of architecture, maybe?
I mean, it depends on how what the rebuilt architecture looks like, right?
That's true.
And I think that there's, like, still, like, we know that at least one temple is still overgrown. And there's still a lot of overgrowth in places.
I think it's got to be kind of warm, then. I'm also remembering that there's, like, a volcano very nearby.
There is a volcano very nearby.
So I feel like it means it's got to be warmer.
Yes.
So I'm pitching, like, Mediterranean-y kind of vibes.
Is this a different volcano than the one that suddenly appeared? Or is this the one that suddenly appeared?
Different, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think the one you're referencing is the one from our Spin the Wheel game, right, Zach?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's further from the City of Gulls.
Maybe it's along the same fault line.
Along the same fault line is good, but it's more that one's somewhere else. That's not here.
And so, what does the camera see everybody's character doing?
I was gonna say, are we going in a turn order, or are we just gonna go ham?
Yeah, I just realized we might be in turn order. So, Every is asleep at this point. I think like light is just starting to. Is the word garret like one of those? I think the word is right because I was gonna go hermitage, and nope, that's not right. I know what that is. Oh yeah, a garret, a room or unfinished part of a house just under the roof. My reading of Little Princess as a child was paid off. But yes, it's like in the top of like lots of open stuff like sun catchers and wind chimes, and like the morning sun is just starting to flood into this small apartment. It's very open inside, not a lot of furnishings, but and Every is asleep, looking possibly more relaxed than they have in a while because they tend to have this sort of. It's not quite a nervous energy, but they definitely have sort of a haunted look to them that is less obvious when they're asleep.
Yeah. Sable is just coming back from the shore, which I think is a morning ritual for them. And anybody who sees them would notice they're going in the wrong direction. Not back to their own place, but somewhere else.
Wow, I wonder where it could be. Huh. Thinking emoji. The peony's own morning ritual, she's probably up with or before the sun herself, sweeping the shop, getting it ready and opening, just kind of like setting everything up within and making her first cup of tea for the day to sit and enjoy the sunrise.
I think Marius is looking a little haggard and run down, but they are in the middle of a summoning circle, and the name that they are speaking into reality is all that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. And as they say that, the summoning circle flashes and something begins to coalesce in the air around them.
And while all of this is happening and the City of Gulls is waking up, there comes the sound of heavy metal boots stomping their way up the ridge just outside of town as a man, an old man, far older than he looks, crests the hill with his daughter, who is also older than she looks, and his brilliant golden eyes take in this unfamiliar sight. All right, we're in it now.
Okay, so I will, as I am first in the turn order, and just a reminder about the way protocol systems work is I take 2 cards. One determines the scene type and what's happening in it, or a vague title, I guess, and the other is location. Okay, so this is... I pulled Hearts, which is an interlude. 2 players with a previously established relationship. And the value is 2. Darkness, where there should be light. Starting strong today, y'all.
Let's go.
And the location is the 3 of Diamonds. Cracked, revealing light within. And stormy. So, that's fun. Alrighty. Now, technically with an interlude, I'm directing it, not in it, because that's how interludes work. So...
Who else is going to be in it? Like, we can't just... We gotta have you in it.
Interludes involve 2 and only 2 characters with a pre-existing relationship, but neither character needs to be the directors. There we go. All good. The director sets the scene based on the cards drawn. The scene runs as long as the director likes without being self-indulgent. Ha.
Well,
Welcome to follow the leader. Calling scene when the characters have said or done enough. An interlude involves only 1 location. Should the characters leave the location or reach a moment of conflict, the scene ends. All players not involved in the scene will gain a drama point at the end of the interlude.
What if I take it at the beginning, though? What if I just
Well, you
take
can't
it
use
right
it.
now?
If you want to take it now,
I
you
know.
can take it
well,
now.
no, I'm just... I like how the rules are like, you have to wait until the end of the scene.
I assume it's just so you can't use them because there's the 3 basic uses of drama points.
That's true.
So I'm going to quickly... Has somebody written down what this scene type is in the record of scenes at the bottom of the doc? So I don't forget.
I know what it is. It's
Okay.
darkness where there should be light for an interlude, right?
Ah, Kingdom Hearts.
Ah, Kingdom Hearts. How I've missed you.
I think this has got to be like leading on from that vignette is Sable getting back to Every's place. And maybe clouds are rolling in. And that's where... I mean, you don't have to be quite so literal, but sometimes literal is fun.
Sometimes literal is fun.
It's a coastal city. Lightning is a common thing. Maybe the storm is coming from the other direction from the sun. So, like, as the sun is cresting, like, there are dark clouds moving in from over the coniferous forest.
Like, maybe the sun is rising behind Steady and Perihelia, and then, but out on the coast, coming in from the sea, is stormy.
Sure.
Maybe there's
like
more
that.
than one sun. I still think this is...
know what
I
you
still
mean.
want this world to have multiple suns.
I think we've already established it has multiple moons,
Yeah.
so why not multiple suns?
I have written about it having multiple suns, so there can be a sun behind Sable and Perihelia, and another one that's being
Then
clouded.
Sable?
Yeah, where did you think Sable was going?
Yeah.
Obviously, it was to go
Fair
join Perihelia. Just kidding.
But yeah, so maybe we can't see the storm yet, but there is that rumble that means like thunder in the distance and that beginning of a storm coming.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sable kind of looks out towards the coast and is kind of like,
Grumble, grumble.
Witcher noises.
I like that. So you, so Sable comes in and Every is awake now and sort of moving around the room. I think what this looks like is them. They've taken down one of their sun catchers, and it looks like they're trying to repair it or something as Sable comes back in. like looking a bit perplexed at it. That's the framing.
Yeah. I think there's this like tiny moment of hesitation. Like Sable makes enough noise coming in that every can't miss it.
Sure.
So it's not a surprise. But there's this like tiny moment of hesitation before Sable like rests a hand between their shoulder blades and like leans down to kiss their temple. And is like, got a very intent look there for just after sunrise.
That's rich coming from somebody that goes down to the shoreline every morning. Just something seems off. And sort of like looking very intently at the mirrors of this sun catcher. Like they're trying to see something.
Oh no, I have to remember how Sable responds to shit like that. I'm like barely back in their character. Well, do you need to talk it out, or do you think it'll come with time?
I don't know. And they sort of decisively like put it down. They're just like sort of sat on the floor, like on a low seat, and they had it in their lap, and they just like put it down, and they twist to look up at Sable, just like, I don't want to worry about that right now.
They kind of smile a little. Is there tea happening?
Oh yeah, the tea is on.
The tea is on. Maybe this is when whatever the City of Gulls version of a kettle is whistles.
Mm-hmm.
And Sable's like, I'll get that. Least I can do for leaving you this morning to go down to the shore before sunrise.
Just sort of squinty a little bit and just like, are you sure? Raises an eyebrow.
I'm not that bad at making tea, Every.
All right. She'll know if you mess it up. She always knows?
She always knows. Don't worry, I will not mess it up.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Sable steps away. They glance down at the suncatcher, and I think shadows move across the reflection, like the surface of the mirror, in a way that doesn't correspond with anything moving in the room.
Very good. Sable kind of like blinks at the mirrors and then like peeks out the window. And as they're going into the kitchen, they just kind of say, "Storm's on its way. Don't know if I like it."
I sort of get up and move to the sort of window and sniff the air. Me neither. Doesn't feel quite right. And I want to cut it there.
Yeah, that's a good place to cut it, I think. So everyone who's not in the scene gets a drama point?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Steady,
Hooray.
Steady, the Peony, and Marius should now have 3 drama points.
Yes. Giving myself 2 cards, because it's me next. It's me next! Okay. Oh boy! Oh, let's go! Ace of Diamonds. Interrogation, 2 players. 1 player asks another player up to 5 questions. Interrogator steals a drama point from the target player. And the ace is an unexpected light in the darkness. This is very easy for me. The location is the 6 of Diamonds. Cracked, revealing light within, and safe only for a moment. So, I get to decide do I get to decide who's the interrogator and who's being interrogated?
You select a player.
I imagine so.
Yeah, the director selects one player and steals a drama point from that player and asks that player up to 5 questions. Or you select a player, that player takes on the role of an NPC of the director's choosing, and the director then asks that player up to 5 questions from the perspective of the NPC. Or your own character.
The director may ask the questions from the point of view of an NPC or their own character. This process should feel organic. However, the interrogation may be out of character as well. in which case the director asks the questions in an abstract fashion as though going down a list. Regardless, the questions could be anything fitting the theme of the card drawn.
No, I'm just thinking that this is a really good frame for Sable and Steady.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it could work in either direction. I was just wondering if there was the opportunity for Steady to ask the questions too, but it makes sense because I'm the director, so I have to be the one. That means I have to come up with questions. Fuck!
I mean, Zach's very good at it. You could just ask him really nicely if he doesn't mind asking you questions and let him have the drama point.
I mean, I don't care.
I think Max should ask questions. I also think this is, I believe, one of the visuals that we wanted, considering we just ended a scene at Every's place, is Steady knocking on the door.
Yes. And an unexpected light in the darkness. I open the door. The paladin of the fucking sun is standing there.
And the sunlight just streams out from the door frame with him like backlit. Yeah. I was told that I could find Sable here.
Sable's standing right there.
I mean, I could have opened.
Every opening the door is a good shout, actually.
Cool. There, yeah, you know that. I open the door, and you say that, and I just sort of turn it, and then I'll nod here, just like, Sable.
Yeah.
Solara's paladin is here for you.
Question number 1. What the fuck, Steady? Well, I think so. Sable knows that, obviously. This is just general what the fuck. How does Steady reply to whatever he just said?
He definitely snaps his head to look at Every.
Every is like 5'1".
Snaps his head down to look at Every. Sable is 6'4". Because that's not a name that's spoken very often anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "You have a theologist, Sable."
Sable comes out with 2 cups of tea, gives one to Every, pointedly refuses to acknowledge that, and says,
Sable puts a hand out and then realizes it isn't there.
Sable says, "Are you planning on staying a while, or are you just passing through?"
Well, we have been kind of checking out the world and the ways it's changed. And we found out that there's this city, the only city left in the world, they say, and figured there's probably a fair amount to keep us occupied here.
So you'll take tea then?
If you're making it.
There's enough tea.
Sure. Is there enough for 4? Because Perihelian's also here.
Yeah.
He points over his shoulder at where she is got her arms crossed and is waiting to see what's going on.
Every drops their teacup on realizing that Perihelia is also here.
Sable catches it.
They both go to catch it.
Sable says, "Every, it's your house, so you can say whether or not they can come in, but I'm gonna make them tea." Goes to get the tea.
I need to go. Yes, they can come in. And they literally grab their lead layers and pull them on and just go out Batman style out the window.
I was just about to type that in chat if they jumped out the window.
Let me be clear, they do have a tendency of going in and out of windows. I think that's why we have an episode title called Tuxedo Mask Style.
Out the window, yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember that.
Seti's just kind of head kind of swivels slowly, watching them go out of a window, and he says, "Interesting individual."
Cut the shit, Steady. Why are you actually here?
Well, I said I would come. It's been a while, but wouldn't have expected you to forget.
I don't forget anything.
Well, then you know.
It's been years. You're late.
Well, we got delayed a few times. He looks over his shoulder. And in the back, and she says, "That wasn't my fault." There's a lot of dark in the world. We kind of got caught up in dealing with it.
Oh, that's 3 now, I think, technically, because I used one.
Mm-hmm. You also get
I do. Finally, Sable gets fucking power over their own existence. Wow. I can't think of what the actual word that I want is besides power.
Agency?
Yeah, agency. Thank you. Finally, Sable getting agency in their own goddamn story. Jesus. So the question they ask is, do you still take your tea the same way? And the intent there is, how have you changed since the last time I saw you? Or are you the same as you've always been?
I've only ever taken it one way. Seems disingenuous to switch it up at this point.
That Sable kind of laughs a little bit and is like, I don't know why I expected any different, but it's reassuring. Somehow, it's reassuring to know that. Makes tea, makes Perihelia tea. I think they just know Perihelia takes her tea.
Well, it's the same.
Yeah,
way.
Without having to be asked about it. And I think the last thing that they say is, can you promise that if I let you stay with me that you won't break any of my shit? And that's don't fuck with my people.
Steady drinks his tea without waiting. Cool.
Completely, Sable doesn't blink. I think that they can do that to a slightly lesser extent as well. But not to the extent that Steady can.
And he says, I'm only here to break one thing. I don't think it's yours.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go find where my realizes they didn't talk about it.
Terry Helios' paramour.
I love her.
I love her so much. Sable goes bright red and says, theologist. Disappeared too. And then I'll show you where I live. And next time. And they just leave. Because they're just I don't think there is a next time. And so they're just all right, bye. And they've left Steady and Perihelia in every's house.
Mm. And, they just look around. They've been in a lot of houses in the last, several years. So it's
I think they would notice that then there are a number of sun catchers. I guess in case people don't know what they are, I think everyone in the cult does, but they're designed. You can put them in different parts, and they're designed to catch every bit of light from the outside and cast them out. If you don't have artificial lighting, it's a way to maximize sunlight.
Yeah.
But
so they look like mirrors and
exactly
or almost like disco balls, like crystal disco balls.
A little bit, yeah. But the entire way this place is decorated and built, where it's got partially collapsed walls and stuff, is to let as much sunlight into this place as possible. The air can move through and the sunlight can come in.
Steady drinks his tea in just one go. I don't know that he's the guy he doesn't sip.
Just chugs tea.
Peony in the distance is I sense a tea crime.
Well, you drew animosity.
Yeah, I'm this is the heart of our argument.
The ancient grudge.
Oh, he still can't drink his tea correctly. Oh.
It's just a drink. What are you talking about?
Christ.
It's a sacred ritual.
How do you drink something wrong? You just put it in your mouth and swallow.
Oh. And he still takes
Put your
it the same
minds in
way.
it. Steady finishes his tea and looks around and says, "Nice place." Perihelia says, yeah, not bad. They just kind of chill there for a while. And that is their scene.
Do you mind if I spend a drama point to add a detail?
Have at it.
After they've been there a while, Steady notices out of the corner of his eye that mirror from before, and a shadow passes over the mirror almost too quickly for Steady to see, but he notices it.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
And he sets down his mug and he looks at his daughter and he says, "We're in the right place."
And cut.
That evil laugh was absolutely in the background of that scene, just very quietly under the rumble of thunder, just a voice going,
That was a spoon.
The evil laugh blends in with the thunder, and then there was the spoon. Yep.
Hi, it's August, and I just wanted to thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed us, please consider leaving a rating on your podcast platform of choice, telling your friends about us, or tweeting about us using the FTLcast hashtag. We are also part of a nonprofit podcasting guild called Standing Stones Productions. We do a variety of shows, including The Room Where It Happened and Dumb Kids Playing Hero, 2 actual play shows, and a Steven Universe discussion podcast called Gay Space Rocks. We also do live streams at twitch.tv/standingstonesprod. You can keep up with everything that we do on Twitter at stones_standing. Unfortunately, Standing Stones was already taken. Your support means a lot. Thanks again!